99% of people ignore this hidden rule of life. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have everything fall into place while others struggle endlessly? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's a hidden rule of life that 99% of people ignore. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Because this one rule is the difference between success and failure, between happiness and frustration, between winning and losing at life. And yet, almost nobody talks about it. So let me ask you this. Have you ever noticed how the same people keep winning over and over again? They start a business. It works. They switch careers. They thrive. They enter a relationship. It lasts. Meanwhile, others keep making the same mistakes, stuck in the same patterns, trapped in the same problems. It's not just a coincidence. It's because of this one rule. And here's the crazy part. It's so simple that when you hear it, you might think, that's it? But that's exactly why most people ignore it. Because the human brain is wired to crave complexity. We think big results require big solutions. But the truth? Big results come from simple truths applied consistently. And this rule, it's the foundation of everything. So what is it? Here it is. Your life is a reflection of your standards, not your goals, not your dreams, not your wishes, your standards. What does that mean? It means that you don't get what you want. You get what you tolerate. You don't get the body you dream of. You get the body you tolerate having. You don't get the income you desire. You get the income you're willing to accept. You don't get the relationship you fantasize about. You get the relationship you settle for. Your life, right now, is a direct reflection of what you've been willing to accept as good enough. Think about it. Look at the people who seem unstoppable, the ones who refuse to settle, the ones who are always pushing forward. They have higher standards for themselves. They demand more, and as a result, they become more. Now you might be thinking, but how do I raise my standards? Simple. You change what you're willing to tolerate. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone who's out of shape, tired all the time, and frustrated with their health. They want to be fit. They wish they had more energy, but nothing changes. Why? Because they tolerate eating junk food. They accept skipping workouts. They allow themselves to make excuses. Then one day something shifts. Maybe a health scare. Maybe they hit rock bottom. Maybe they just get fed up. Whatever it is, they suddenly decide, enough. They refuse to accept this version of themselves anymore. And overnight, their standard changes. They no longer tolerate skipping workouts. They no longer accept unhealthy food. They no longer allow excuses. And guess what? Their body changes. Because their standards changed, and the same goes for everything else in life. Your finances, a reflection of your standards. Your relationships, a reflection of your standards. Your happiness, a reflection of your standards. And the moment you refuse to accept average, everything shifts. Now, here's where most people get it wrong. They think raising their standards means setting bigger goals. It doesn't, because goals are just wishes. Standards? Standards are who you are. They define what's acceptable and what's not. And once something is no longer acceptable, change becomes automatic. It's like a thermostat. If your thermostat is set to 70 degrees, your room will always hover around 70. If it gets too hot, the AC kicks in. Too cold, the heat turns on. Your standards work the same way. If your financial standard is, I always make at least $100K a year, you'll find a way to make that happen. If your standard is, I never let myself get out of shape, you'll stay fit. No matter what. But if your standard is, I just want to get by, that's all you'll ever do. See the difference? So here's the real question. What are you tolerating right now that's keeping you stuck? What area of your life have you been settling in? And what happens if you refuse to accept that anymore? Because the moment you decide, truly decide, that you will not tolerate anything less than your highest potential, everything changes. Now, let me leave you with this. There are two types of people in life. Those who let life happen to them, and those who take control. Which one are you? If you're ready to take control, start now. Raise your standards. Decide what's no longer acceptable. And watch how fast your life transforms. If this message hit you, don't just scroll away. Take action. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, share it with them, because 99% of people ignore this hidden rule of life. But you're now part of the 1% who know better. So what are you going to do about it?